Okay, we're going to do some grading now that we got this surface created. And we use feature lines to generate our proposed grading. Before we dive into that, I'm going to make one change to the existing surface. Okay, and this will involve creating a polyline, okay, that will then be part of a feature line. Okay, so you'll notice here, this is one of the figures here. And what I want to do is I want to modify this. I want to add a polyline to this and then use this as a top bank, because a lot of times these feature lines might not come in as planned. So we got top of bank, top of bank. You'll notice these points here. So all these points that you see here I'll highlight a few of them, indicate the top of bank. Okay, and you'll notice that that 190 contour is still on the back side here. So it really should extend down along these lines here, because that is truly where the top of bank is. So we're gonna make some corrections to that. All right, so we're gonna click on here, okay, and what we want to do is I'm going to first come in here on my O snaps, and I'm going to turn on node, okay, and I'm going to draw a polyline. Okay, this polyline is going to be drawn, just polyline, and I'm going to snap to this endpoint here, that endpoint here, all the way, all these points you see here at, say, top of bank. Okay, top of bank. All right, and I'm going to now click on this line. This is my feature line, okay? And I want to join. So let me see which one it is. This one here. So, okay, now I've highlighted this line between these two. And I'm going to hit join. And then I'm going to select this line and hit enter. Okay, so now that's all together. Okay, now let's do another one here. PL. Snap to here, to here. Okay, same thing, click here, and we're going to choose join. Click on that, right click, and hit enter. Okay, so now this is all together. Okay, and now I'm going to use this to be added to my surface, which is existing grade. So I'm going to go under prospector, going to go under surfaces, find existing grade, find definitions, and then I'm going to find my break lines, and I'm going to add a break line. I'm going to call that one top of bank, okay, and I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to select this line, and now, and let's see what it looks like. So now that top of bank has pushed that 190 contour out further, in which it should. All right, and so that just gives you an idea of how we can use feature lines to make grade. In this case, we're just modifying the grades to match what is existing out there. Now, if you didn't have this line, okay, sometimes it doesn't come in, so I want to give you this option. Let's say I don't even have that line. Okay, not a big deal. Again, we're going to use, go back here, make sure we got nodes on, and I'm going to do a polyline. I'm going to snap to all these nodes. Again, top of bank, top of bank. Okay, so I got a polyline. All right, and I want to create a feature line from this polyline. So we're going to go up to feature lines. I'm going to choose create feature lines from object. We're going to select that, hit enter. I'm going to click name feature lines default, that's fine, style default. And we're going to hit OK. And now we've got that feature line. Now let's add this feature line into our existing surface. Add break lines, add. Call this one again, top of bank. And we'll hit OK, and we'll select this feature line and right click, And there it is. It did the same thing. It pushed that back to where it needs to be. Okay, and that's just by using this feature line because maybe it didn't, that fixture line didn't come in from the survey. We can still link these together and modify the surface as needed. All right, now that we've modified our existing grades, we're going to use and draw in a polyline that we're going to use for grading. Okay, so I'm focused on this part of my subdivision. Okay, let's click on here. So that's going to be here. Okay, and so what you want to do is go ahead and draw a polyline from this endpoint, which I did here, to this endpoint. Okay, then what I want you to do is click on that line and hover over there, and you'll get a couple options. You can stretch it, you can add vertex, and we're going to convert to an arc. You also want to make sure, again, that you've got perpendicular active on your O-snaps. All right. So again, let's do this. Let's click on this. We're going to hover over this, and we're going to convert to an arc, and we're going to just move it till you see that perpendicular symbol come up. And there we go. We've got our polyline that is now following along that arc of that property. Now what we want to do is we're going to click on that polyline, and we want to make it into a feature line. Okay, so again, we're going to click on that polyline. Okay, and we're going to be on home there, and we're going to go feature line, and we're going to do the same thing we did before, create feature line from objects, and we're going to keep the defaults here. We want the name checked here, we want the style, those are all good, and we're going to hit OK. And there it is. Now it's a feature line, and I can select it now, and it'll bring up a new menu up here. Okay, and you can click on this one and hit edit elevations here, and you see right now we only have the three. We have the beginning, the middle, and the end, and they should have no assigned values. Okay, so we're gonna assign a values for this feature line. So we're going to click again, and we're going to come up here. Okay, and we're going to assign that based on a surface, elevations from surface. Okay, I'm going to click on that, and we're going to choose the existing grade. Okay, and it's going to insert intermediate breakpoints as well. So we're going to hit on that, and then we're going to select the object, and there it is. It has now taken that feature line, which was set at elevation 0, and it has assigned elevations based on the surface that is our existing grade. So now if we go and look at elevation editor here, we'll see that now we've got all these data points. Okay, and if we highlight any of them, look, it was at 0, now it's at 188.752, and you'll see it right here in the little triangle. Now highlight one here, and then notice as I move with the down arrow down, it cycles through, that circle keeps moving to each one. Okay, and each one, okay, represents a data point from the surface. So you can see now I'm on the one near that just to the right of that pine tree in between the building, and you'll notice it's got an elevation of 187.948, which is what it should be. Okay, and so all the way, and that now we have assigned that to the existing grade. All right, you'll notice that there's another feature line we probably need to add to our surface, and this is the driveway feature line. All right, so let's go ahead and add that to our surface. Again, we're going to tool space, we're going under prospector, we are going to find our surfaces, existing grade, definition, we're going to add a break line, right click add, we'll call this one driveway. Okay, hit OK, and we're going to select that feature line. And you'll notice some errors occurred, and that's fine because it couldn't add the break line because it might have interfere with something else. And in this case, we're okay with that. And we're going to hit that and okay. And now we have modified that, and see the contour is a little different. So it actually represents that driveway coming in. All right, now we note that when we assigned the elevations to this feature line, we note that they will no longer match up to the existing grade because the existing grade got changed. So how do we change that and make it match the existing grade? Very easy. Again, all we have to do is run through the same scenario. We hit this again. This is to set the elevation from a surface. We hit OK. We select the feature line, and boom. We have now modified it so that this feature line will match the existing grades here. And you can see that. We're just going to cycle through these. Here, I'll just click on this one. And you'll see now, if I cycle through, these elevations now have been adjusted. They're higher. They're representative of what's actually going on. All right, now what we want to do, let's check this off, is on this feature line, we're going to use this to grade, like I said. So we're going to set it up a little bit. And from approximately the 190 contour here to the 190 contour here, I'm going to use this feature line to set a grade. And in order to help with that, I've got to remove all these intermediate points along this feature line. Okay, the ones that are in between the 190 contour here. So see this 190 contour? Okay, so any of these intermediate elevations on my feature line I want to get rid of. So how do we do that? Delete elevation point here. So I click on that, and now I'm just going to go and I'm going to be selecting all the ones that are on the right side of this, on this interior. So I'm going to click that. Just going to keep it going and just delete all the ones that are in this area. And this will probably be the last one here because that's 190. And then I'm just going to hit enter again. Okay, so now if I click on that line, let's review it. There should be a gap, and let's make sure we got them all. So we got a couple more I got to delete here. Looks like I missed this one here. Not a big deal. Click on this line here, and we're going to delete it. There. Okay, so now all these circles are on to the left of the 190 and to the right of the 190. All right. Now we want to set new points on there, on this feature line, new elevation points that represent 190. So I'm going to choose insert elevation point. And I want to scroll down and I want to get as close as I can to this 190 line. And I'm going to put in 190. Then I'm going to go over to the other side of that 190. Get real close. And I'm also going to choose 190. And escape out of there. So now on that feature line, I have removed all these grades in between the 190 and set on the beginning and end of this section an elevation of 190. And if you click on here, that's where they appear here. Okay, this one here, and then this one here. Okay. Okay, so all these elevations now are at 190 between here. Okay, what this is allowing me to do is now I'm essentially going to fill in this area, okay, to raise up this area, because this is like a draw I want to fill in so I can build my lots. So the limits of my grading will come to the 190 line. I've got 188, so you'll have approximately 2 feet of fill here, 4 feet here, and 6 feet of fill here. And now come back and I will finish the grading there.